Why, hello, and welcome to Pushing 40 on Blitz. I am the Desert Fax because I am just a poor copy at best. Today we're going to talk about my favorite Tier 8 heavy tank, and that is the T34. Shown here with the H Combat camo, it is a legendary camo that is absolutely gorgeous. Once I saw this, I knew I had to save up the gold to have it, and so we made it happen. Now today we're actually going to be watching a replay of the T34 Independence, or 1776, which does not have different camos. You only have this one look, but I often swap between the two. It is the same tank. They're different tanks, but the statistics are exactly the same. One of the things I love about this tank is that, well, it doesn't have the best statistics for the top statistics for Tier 8 heavies, but it moves like a heavy tank, it hits like a heavy tank, and it feels like a heavy tank. I mean, it was just the one that really gave me that impression. And it's got enough power, it's got enough traverse, without being insane. It doesn't really stand out among the tanks, except for its gun, 400 alpha, 0.29 on the dispersion, which is amazingly accurate. I mean, that's like that laser accuracy. And yet, you'll still see it troll me a couple times in this replay. But it hits hard, and it's got excellent penetration. In fact, it's I haven't actually compared numbers, but it's almost got the equivalent of like Tier 9 penetration, I would say. It handles really well. I think it's Pramo ACPR is like 297. So here we go. Starting out on maps like this, when we have what I call a gimme, your team spawns closer to one cap than the enemy team, I always go for it. I figure you must, because the enemy team is typically going to do the same. I was happy to see the Swindler come up here to beat cap as well. Not only do we get the cap out sooner, but a lot of times lights and mediums like to go to D on this map. And while I will go there and fight, I really dislike that area because there are so many open spaces. It's so much more important to have concealment and cover, and there are just some wide spots. And when you're in a spot of cover, you can get to a point where you can't move from that area without getting shot. And that's not a good place to be. Now this 252 is looking at our allies, and I missed. There's one of the troll shots right there. It should have been there. It slipped just behind the turret, I believe. But since I have enemies surrounding him, I'm not concerned with him. I move on. Find another target, and look, ooh, the T30, dangerous Tier 9. He came back, I'm angling, and here we go. Glance. Like I said, you can side scrape in this tank. It performs really well hull down with 279 armor on the front of the turret. Go. Waiting for him. Yeah, I'm tunneling him. Spending a bit too much time, but I was really hoping he would twist, poke out a little bit. I was hoping that P44 Pantera was going to come this way, but looks like they're not. Instead, I have people circling around, but he pokes out. He's over-angled, which is why I took the shot. Looks like he moved back so that he could try to get along on me. I swivel around. He turns the way I expect, but instead, I'm going to take the shot at this guy who's coming right at me because I figure he may push. He doesn't. It looks like I'm getting strafed by a bunch of lights and mediums. We're going to turn. I know we can reload in time, and here we go. He is gone. That Object 84 was starting to come around, but he must have been paying attention in third-person view. There we go. Tried the HE for a second, saw yellow, switched back to AP, caught him just before he got around the mountain. Won't get the reload on this 84 quite in time, but that's okay. The T30 knows I'm just in this section because I am putting out punishment. Cover for the reload. Ready to step out again. 2 versus 3, 2 versus 2 now. And snapped around into the T30. The Object 84 is running. I'm confident in my teammate. He's almost at full health. Slap around before fully aimed, and it's just a good example of the accuracy that this cannon has. So I'm going to go ahead and press. I'm going to get my second troll shot here. And it's like, it was one of those, I'm like, really? Really? Come on. I realize that was a snapshot, but still. Here we go. I love doing this, particularly in heavies. Get that round in and ram. That was his mistake for pulling out. And my comrade WZ clears the final opponent. Now, this wasn't exceptional gameplay. We've all had those games where it's just amazing and you're running around and shooting I mean, I was doing a little bit of that, but over 3k damage, 3 destroyed, shot 5 of the enemies, and that produced a mastery. I think not enough people played this tank, but that's okay. Look, you know what? 150,000 credits, I can't object. I really can't object. It was just one of those fantastic games, a lot of fun, a lot of shooting, glanced a few shots. And that's why it's my favorite Tier 8 heavy tank. A lot of times it's a go-to when I jump on and say, you know, I don't know what I feel like playing right now because I'm not grinding anything specific. I just want some credits, just want some battles. Let's jump into the T34, and then I'll figure out where to go from there. And often I'll find myself playing several battles in it. So if it ever pops up and you're interested, like I said, it doesn't have the best statistics-wise. If you want massive damage and pushing, the T77 with its two-shot, as a two-shot auto-reloader, dishes out almost 800 damage in seconds, and then goes back to reload. I enjoy the T2020, even though it's not meta. It's a fun tank, good armor. Object 252U is an old classic standby with Russian pike nose, angled armor, still an amazing performer. There are lots of great tanks. The Chrysler K, you know, looking at the Americans right here, the Chrysler K is one of the best performing, has amazing armor, excellent side scraping abilities, particularly with the rear turret. I love it. It is a fantastic tank. You know, the Type 57 is a good all-rounder in my opinion. The Mark IV Yo has been a favorite of mine. I was really happy to hear Droodles promote it because it is just a fun tank. But out of all of them, this is the one. This is the one for me. It feels like a heavy tank should. So until next time, this is the Desert Facts, wishing you good games, good sportsmanship, and good luck. Like and subscribe to support my content. Thank you.